Hey, what's going on, everyone? So I wanted to provide you guys a quick walkthrough in our classroom, and now this is going to be aside from the Leo walkthrough that UMUC provides you. You guys should be taking advantage of that as well, and we'll cover that here in just a minute. So when you guys log in and go to the applicable classroom, this is going to be very similar to the first page that you're going to see. Um, and this has some alerts that might show up, a calendar with upcoming events, a news section, which is going to be very important, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So if you go to the calendar is going to show you um, all uh, all upcoming assignments and when they're due, when they become available, all that kind of stuff. Now you'll notice that all of the stuff now pretty much all of our assignments are due on Sunday night at before midnight. So you'll see that I have 11:59 on all of those assignments on all the due dates, and we'll get to the assignments and late assignments and all that kind of stuff here shortly. So we'll go back to the home page. One thing that I need to point out really quickly is that we have typically in every class we have people from all over the world. We have a lot of military folks. I myself am a veteran, and I've taken classes while being deployed and all that, so I certainly understand how all that stuff works. But nonetheless, we need to make sure that everyone is on the same time zone. And that time zone is going to be Eastern time zone, which is where University of Maryland is located. And we do that to make sure that everyone has the assignment week starts at the same time and the due date is all at the same time. So if you go to name and account settings and then go down to the bottom under time zone, you'll see that it's going to be, the time zone is going to be GMT -5 in the United States, New York. That's going to be Eastern time zone. That's the time zone that you need to set. And the reason I point that out is because, like I mentioned, the all of our assignments are going to be due at 11:59 on Sunday night. And now the week begins at midnight Monday morning for that week, so everybody has the same amount of time. And unfortunately, time management is beyond the scope of this class, so I just need to make sure that everyone is aware of our time limitations and all that kind of stuff. So just make sure you have those times set right. And I'll get to the assignments and all the due dates and all that here shortly. So it's very important that you stay on top of the news posts that are posted each week, and I sometimes put several up during the week, maybe just one, but anyway, just keep track of what the news items are. If you're just logging into the classroom, make sure you go all the way down to the bottom and show all news items and read all of the news items that that have been posted to this point. There's going to be very important information that might be scheduling or information specific to assignments or what have you, but it's going to be important information in that news area. Make sure you read it. So in the Leo walkthrough that you have with UMUC, it advises that you use the pager, which is up here in this area, and you're certainly welcome to do that. I will advise you, though, that if you do that, it's going to be I'll not see that message until I log in the next time. So I typically log in every day. So I mean, if you're willing to wait that long, that's fine with me. I would prefer, however, that you go to email and send me an email by that source, or you can go over here to the roster and choose my name and send me an email that way. Okay, so on this the home page, typically most of the stuff that we'll be doing is going to be under the content area. So if you look at content, I mentioned earlier that you'll have some some information on learning Leo and things like that that's going to be available here in the content area. And you also have your syllabus. If you click on syllabus, this contains information that is very specific to this class, and is very, very important. Like every other college class that you ever take, you need to become very familiar with the syllabus. For instance, it talks about the participation, what the requirements for the participation are, and we'll get into that very shortly as well. And the late assignments, and we'll talk about that shortly as well, but I effectively don't allow a late assignment, so please get familiar with those policies. So the discussion area, we are quite limited to communication in an online environment. So compared to a face-to-face classroom where we have conversations that can take place between students in the classroom during the class session, that really bolsters the learning environment and certainly helps build on what is being learned, and especially when we have people that have more experience in that subject matter. So it's very important that that you when you're going through these discussions, make sure that you read all of the posts, and because I comment on some stuff, and other students with that are experiencing that comment on stuff, or you have students that ask questions in the discussion area. That's hence the term discussion. So it's very important that you read all the discussions. So in our discussion area, there are a few very important points that I want to make. This discussion area is not Facebook or Twitter, so make sure that that you capitalize what needs to be capitalized, that you punctuate what needs to be punctuated, and make sure that you use a proper vocabulary and verbiage that is proper for a college classroom. Because the failure to do so, and you'll certainly not get credit for the post. Each week, you are responsible for replying to, or at least submitting an initial submission for the weekly discussions. And when you do so, I would prefer that be done by Friday night, so we can actually have a discussion over the weekend. By Friday night midnight for that initial post. And then you're also required to reply to 3 of your classmates' responses, or I'm sorry, 3 of your classmates' initial posts. And all of those posts, whether it's your initial post or a response to your classmates, they should be meaningful and educated posts. That means that you should not be going out to a website and looking up a term and copying and pasting the definition or explanation of that term into your post as if it is your work. And even if you are citing the source, do not copy the information verbatim. Read the information and develop your own answer and post that answer. And make sure that when you make those posts that are going to be that have images embedded in them, and we're going to have discussions that are going to require that, make sure that that your image is visible, such as this one is. And I've got videos that I've created myself that I've posted in the content area and in the classroom resources, and I'll go over that here shortly. That explain exactly how to do that. So it's really easy in this, regardless of your operating system and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's get to the assignments. So you should have a folder in this area for every assignment that is due. For everything that you have to compose and turn in is going to be in this area. Now, in most cases, I prefer to have all of your work captured in one document and submitted into that folder. Now there are some classes where we also provide the code in a different file, but in most cases it's all in one file. So this is the due date, and again, it's typically 11:59 on the given Sunday. So if you turn it in at midnight, that is Monday, and the assignment is late. Again, I don't accept late assignments. However, I do understand that the people have busy lives, and we are all adult learners, and we're trying to work full time and perhaps go to school full time. So I understand things happen. So if you contact me before midnight on Friday and let me know the assignment's going to be late, that's fine. That's fine. We'll make amends with that. You're still going to lose 15% on your score, but you just let me know. Otherwise, it's gonna if you submit that at 12:01 a.m. on Monday, you get no credit. All right, so let's go to the content area. I'm sorry, discussion area, and go to. There is an area for Ask the Professor. If you have any questions at all that pertain to anything specific to the course material, please post the question here in the Ask the Professor section, because it's very likely that you have classmates that have similar questions or similar concerns. If it's something to do specifically with you. So again, if it's something that's dealing specifically with you, like for instance an assignment that you have a question about, a graded assignment or something like that, then you can email me directly. And again, I prefer that you use the classroom email that goes directly to my phone, and I can respond immediately. But otherwise, if it's some material that is that pertains directly to the course material, please post that in the Ask the Professor section. All right, so we will go back to the content, and in the weekly activities, there is everything that you need to do and know for that week is going to be in this area, and it is advisable that you start at the top and work your way down, and cover every bit of information in there that's available to you. So, for instance, you're of course going to have a lot of reading material, and now I sometimes provide video lectures that I compose myself. I don't go out and seek other people's work on YouTube and post their work and provide that information to you. Most often, if it's something that's specific to that week's material, I will typically put videos together on my own and provide you that information through a video lecture. So let's take a look. So this is one of the classrooms, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. As you can see, there are a lot of links under there. So for instance, I have there's a week 1 start. It has a lot of information in there, and let me see, there's information that goes out to different websites, like maybe Oracle, or to other websites that are specific to that course material. And there are code examples, code solutions, and in this class, for instance, I have that posting images to Leo within week 1, and I typically do that in all the classes. I'll have that video out there so you know how to do that, so we can embed those images in our course study. So in addition to the information sources that are outside the web environment, we also have material that is that's provided by University of Maryland. That is they always have some really good information. I sometimes add my own information, but those are just online modules. You need to read through that as well. And a lot of those online modules also have some demonstrations that work really well to demonstrate how the code works. For instance, in this Java classroom, you have an animated image here that kind of demonstrates what code you might have in a program. And when you click on next, it explains to you what each piece of that program is going to do. Of course, you have comments that are ignored by the compiler or interpreter, whatever programming language you're using, and it just steps through and explains precisely what each piece of code is doing. So that's really cool, and there are a lot of people that are visual learners out there like myself, and they appreciate that. That type of help. So make sure that you read through again every piece of information that's available to you in each week's content. So also in most classes, up here at the top of each week, you'll have a status bar that shows you how close you are to completing all of the topics for that week. So it's really important that you pay attention to that and make sure that that you read through each piece of information that's in there, or at least click on the link to see what's available in that content. And again, like I said, I often do video notes or lectures or things like that for a lot of classes. In a lot of classes, that's not necessary every week, but make sure that you get to 100% each week to make sure that you consume all the information that's available to you. So one other thing I wanted to point out is under the content and under the course resources, I put a lot of information out here. Now, University of Maryland puts information out here as well that will provide you information that you need that's specific to that course, to include writing resources, the Learning Leo links that you guys can take advantage of, and if I have any videos that I put together that's specific to that class and that week's information, I'll also put that in this location. But I typically put that in the content area for that week. And again, like for instance, the posting images in Leo for this one classroom right here. So one detail that I believe that I overlooked is when you go to the assignments, make sure that that you read the assignment, all of the details and requirements for that assignment very, very carefully, and make sure that you meet all the requirements. Because if you start missing those details, that's just going to be points subtracted from each of those assignments. So let's go to this classroom, for instance, and go to assignments. And go to homework 1. Let's go to a different one here that's a little more detailed. Let's do project 2, for instance. So you'll see that that this is rather detailed and is asking for a lot of information. Now this also has the rubric that's involved for that specific assignment, and I try to provide a rubric for every assignment that I have posted. I haven't gotten to all of them, but I'm working on that. But as I mentioned, make sure that you pay attention to the details of each assignment and put that in a single document prior to submission, and submit that in the applicable folder. So I try to host chat sessions each week, each Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. On Saturday morning, which is Mountain Time. So of course you'll have to adjust your clocks appropriately if you want to take part in those chats. So if you go to Tools or My Tools and Chat, it'll bring you to this location, and I typically have the date associated. Now, for instance, this is a new classroom, and none of these I've got the chat sessions out there, just not showing up. So this is a previous class, and you'll see that we had several chat sessions, and I also had one-on-one chat sessions with a couple of students. So again, if you're having problems that you need to have specific help with, let me know, and I'll set aside some time, and we'll work on that information together, and we'll go through that chat session to do that. So in order to get to a chat session, you simply click on the link, and it's going to open up the chat room. And once everyone is in there, we can start discussing the information for that week. Now, for and for all these chat sessions, I typically leave the transcript of that chat session up the entire term, so you can go back and refer to, excuse me, those past conversations. And in order to do that, you click on the arrow to the right of that chat session, go to View Sessions, and you'll see over here at the side, the one that has the highest number is obviously the one that took place on that Saturday. And you can read through the conversation that took place for that week. Now, I need to mention that not everyone is required to join the chat session. Obviously, again, we have people from all over the world, and people that are on the other side of the planet may not be able to join me in a chat session. That's 8 o'clock in the morning on my time. So we typically don't cover anything. I don't have any material planned or presentation or anything like that. It's simply to answer questions and to address some of the concerns that you might have for the material up to that point in the class. So I think that's about it. There's one other thing that I wanted to cover, and that is the site maintenance when it's through Leo. You'll occasionally get these notifications. I don't see one here, but anyway, we'll get notifications in the news area that they're doing server maintenance on Sunday morning or what have you. And it doesn't happen all the time, but every now and then those updates that they do, they're doing patches and the like, that it will cause problems with the functionality of Leo, and I've seen where that functionality will last through the rest of the day. So my point is that it's better to get started on the week's work on Monday, and preferably get that stuff done by Saturday, so if there is some kind of maintenance or something like that, and the system goes down, you don't have to worry about it, because I can't give extensions, regardless of the system operation and the like, because we've had all week to take care of it. So one last detail that I want to cover is on the assignments. As I mentioned, all the assignments are due on Sunday night at 11:59. Now, if you submit that assignment by midnight on Friday, I'll be happy to review that assignment, provide you some feedback, and allow you to make some changes, and resubmit that assignment, and with no penalty whatsoever. I'm just providing you the opportunity to improve your potential grade and on each assignment. So I think that's all that I have. And again, this information is typically for every classroom, and every classroom is different in terms of what's available in the content area. But that's all the information I have. If you have any questions, please let me know. Drop that in the Ask the Professor area, or email me directly. That's fine. All right, welcome to the class.